What's good, Gotcha Gang? Kawaii50 here with another Genshin Impact video. If you enjoy this, like and subscribe. Alright, that's out of the way. Gang, this video has actually been a pretty long time coming. There have been comparisons since before release that Genshin Impact is a quote-unquote shameless ripoff of Breath of the Wild. Granted, Genshin Impact does have, a lot of things that you could draw comparisons to from Breath of the Wild. It's got the climbing with the stamina gauge, you got your little cooking minigame, you've got, of course, your gliding, which a lot of people are really drawing comparisons to. But honestly, gang, after that ends up going through, the comparisons pretty much start to end. The combat system is vastly different from Breath of the Wild. You've got your party of characters you've got to manage in order to adeptfully explore the world. And on top of that, you don't have that absolutely hideous weapon durability gameplay feature, which I just wish would be consigned to the dust of history. But gang, even if Genshin Impact had even more similarities than what has been presented on a surface level to Breath of the Wild, the fact of the matter is that it doesn't really matter as much as you might think it does. MiHoYo, of course, has not been shy about saying that Breath of the Wild did have a heavy inspiration on Genshin Impact. They have said that they hold it in high regard, but the studio did say that Genshin Impact is very different from that of Zelda the Breath of the Wild, featuring the new story, the new characters, all the new core gameplay, and all of that fun stuff. It stands to reason, though, gang, that games have actually been doing this for quite a while. And it's just, we've never really noticed it at the time. There have always been games in history that have had such a huge impact on the industry at large, on the way developers end up looking at what games can potentially be, that it ends up shaping the gaming landscape in and of itself. But we don't realize this until years and years and years later. Yes, a lot of us as kids may have recognized at the time that, yeah, Super Mario 64 is a very good game that we have really enjoyed. But did we know that Super Mario 64 would have blazed the trail into the 3D open world era of video games? Did we know that Super Mario 64 would have had a huge impact on, say, Ocarina of Time, on GoldenEye 007's level design, on Conker's Bad Fur Day, if we want to get a little M-rated with it, even on, say, Kingdom Hearts, which, yes, Tetsuya Nomura does cite Super Mario 64 as a big influencing factor in the hugely popular Kingdom Hearts series of games. Usually this is a slow burn, and this is a burn that we often do not see happening in front of our eyes or within such a quick span that we are able to just comprehend it, but I can actually provide you a pretty solid recent example that has been etched into my mind, and something I really feel comfortable talking about when comparing Genshin Impact to Breath of the Wild, and that is the Souls series. Gang, the Souls series has, in a very short period of time, spawned its own genre. So many games out there have been marked as Soulsborne titles. Demon Souls, of course, being the first influencer, ended up having this huge ripple effect throughout the industry, giving us games like Nioh, like Code Vein, like Mortal Shell, to pick a very recent example. But this isn't something that we should deride. This isn't something that we should be upset about. And it's something I'm not upset about when it comes to the Souls series in particular. Rather, I was glad. I was glad that this style of gameplay, which I legitimately enjoyed, legitimately held dear to my heart, spawned so many other games that I was able to play and enjoy. So many other games where the developers, yes, took this core formula, this core principle and core idea, but morphed it and molded it and shaped it to become its own thing. That's what happened with Nioh. That's what happened with Code Vein. That's what happened with Mortal Shell. From Software even did it with some of their own other internal games in the studio. You can tell that Bloodborne is so much different than Dark Souls, is so much different than Sekiro. These ripple features happen, gang. This rippling of these ideologies throughout the industry happens. Just with Genshin Impact, it happened very, very quickly. And honestly, gang, that just really speaks to how great of a game Breath of the Wild was. For a game like Breath of the Wild to have that much impact, no pun intended, in such a short period of time, I think that's nothing sort of astonishing. And gang, if I've said all this, if I've told you all of this, and you still are upset that Genshin Impact takes way, way too much from Breath of the Wild, is way too much of a Breath of the Wild clone, well, Nintendo is letting Genshin Impact become a full-fledged game on their own console. So if Nintendo, the creators of Breath of the Wild, don't see Genshin Impact as enough of a Breath of the Wild clone to not allow it on their home console, they don't see Genshin Impact as enough of the Breath of the Wild clone to the point where they are just not upset about it, why should you be? Anyways, gang, those are just some quick thoughts that I really wanted to get out on the table. I'm really enjoying Genshin Impact. I know a ton of people out there who enjoyed Breath of the Wild are also enjoying Genshin Impact. It's just that this game actually had an impact in a very, very short period of time. Of course, let me know all of your thoughts on Genshin Impact down in the comment section below. I want to know, if you think it is a direct copy of the Breath of the Wild, please let us know. Let's go ahead and have a civil discussion about it. If you think there were better things Genshin Impact could have taken from Breath of the Wild, let us know about those too. If you think there are things Genshin Impact should have left behind and you did not want quote-unquote copied, well, go ahead and mention that as well. This is Kawaii 50, hoping you have a phenomenal day, and I'll see y'all in my next video.